Hello and welcome back to the A Word and Me. My name is Elana and today's video is all about my experience of Freshers Week. This is another one of my week-long university videos helping everyone settle in. I think the kind of key thing to explain about this video is that it's probably going to be a little bit boring. When I went to uni, I really wanted to know like kind of an example Freshers Week, what everyone does, what you're kind of expected to do, and I just wanted to do all the research I could. So this is kind of a rundown of everything that I did during Freshers that I can remember doing, because it was a really jam-packed week that I can't remember everything. So I'm going to tell you what I did every day that I can remember, and it's probably going to be really boring unless you're like looking for this one specific thing. So just be warned, like I know I'm probably going to ramble and it's going to be long and boring, but that is the purpose of it, so like turn off now if that's not what you want. Hope you enjoy, and if this is a video that you're looking for, that you find it helpful. So yeah. So day one was a Saturday. We had the second and third year contacts come to our flat. They were there kind of this whole time helping us move in, and they kind of introduced themselves and they took us to this welcome talk, which was about half an hour saying welcome to the uni, I'm the head of the college, I'm the assistant head of college, and we had a bit of a talk on consent as well. So we watched a video. One of the things the unis did do was they really did focus on consent, and they did that quite a bit throughout Freshers Week, which I thought was really good and promising, especially to do on the first night as well. So we had our talk, and then after that a couple of me and the girls ordered pizza, so we had some Domino's, because you don't really want to be cooking like a full dinner on the first night, and it's nice to order something as a flat. But I did have a ready meal that I had bought from Sainsbury's earlier that day, so just in case no one else wanted a takeaway, I had something quick and easy to do. So we had our Domino's, and then we had a quiz that we went to. It was the most boring quiz of my life. We came second, third from last, which I thought was disappointing, because you know, you either want to come top or you want to come last, and we were so close to last but not quite there. And that was a weird experience, because you're just sat in this table of people that you don't know who they are, and suddenly you're lumped together and like, I'm living with these people. And so that was very odd. And then half of our flat ended up wandering off to Spoons, and we were like really angry, because we were like, we wanted to do things together and we couldn't because they had just walked off. So we had our quiz, didn't do very well, and then they said that they were going to take us to Courtyard for this event that night later, but then Lorraine and me, the Belgian girl, decided to go anyway, because I had been there before, because Llewellyn, my ex, was at the university so the year before, so I like knew where I was going. So we went there, we sat outside for about half an hour at Courtyard. We didn't really get involved in the drinking and dancing, kind of talked a bit, got to know each other, which was really nice, and then I took her on a bit of a walk around campus. About 11:30 at night. Campus is really safe at night, and especially like on Freshers Week, there's people everywhere. Like, safety is a really big paramount thing, and it's really important and a big priority of the university. So like, especially during Freshers, it is really safe to walk around campus at night, especially in pairs. So we went back to the house, to our like flat, and we were like, okay, well, you know, speak in the morning, good night. And that night I hardly got any sleep, because I was in a new bed, in a new room, in a new town. You can't describe the experience. It's just something I'll never live through again. It's such a weird experience, but like, it's a really good one. So that was my first day. It was jam-packed, like you are really going and going. And I remember being like, I don't want to go clubbing tonight, and that's something I really didn't want to do. And then everyone in my flat that night were like, yeah, we don't want to go clubbing either, but there wasn't any club nights for anyone that night, because they stagger arrivals between Saturday and Sunday, so I think everyone starts the clubbing together, if that makes sense. So yeah. Day two was Sunday, and to be honest, I don't actually really remember much of what happened. I remember about 5 of us went to Aldi, because Loreen had no food because she'd flown in from Belgium. So we did a nice little trek to Aldi, got some food, and then I went and collected my bike from the other campus because it was there because I'd cycled to Llewellyn's on the Friday, and or maybe it was a Thursday, and I'd left it there and I just went to collect it. I didn't like say hi to him or anything, I just went and got it and took it back. So I showed the girls like the other campus, which was cool, and we did a little walk. And then that night was Revs, which was our first clubbing night. I feel I was an evening activity, but I can't remember what it was. But I remember the first few days were pretty packed, so like there must have been an evening activity. The third day was the worst day of freshers, but also a bonding moment for our flat. So we had a orientation afternoon thing, and it was like 4 or 5 hours long, and it dragged so much. It was like so boring and a waste of my time, I thought. But I kind of see why they did it, but like no one really was in the mood to listen. And the college said like every year they change it over, and I'm like, so they're having consistently bad feedback. Kind of like says a lot about maybe the whole premise of it or something. So we had that. We had things like safe sex, consent, dealing with stress, join societies about the college, that kind of malarkey. So we did that. And then that evening there was a roller skate disco. So the roller skate disco was weird because it was very stressful roller skating. I couldn't do it. And the music was outside and it was freezing. So we had that. We were there for like an hour and a bit, and then we were like, we've kind of had enough. We were all really tired. And then that night one of the girls got insanely drunk and was throwing up everywhere. Well, we had to like kind of get her to throw up. And then someone had said on this massive chat for the whole college, someone that wasn't even from our flat, oh, flat party in our flat. And then we had all these random people come. They like stole knives and stuff. And then in the end, like the boys grouped together to kick them out and say we wanted them to leave. And then I managed to lock myself out of my room in my pyjamas. So Travis and Rob took me to the reception to get a new key card. And all this like stuff was going on. And it really, I think, bonded us together as a flat. And then I remember Sarah was like, what's going on? And I was like, I'll just explain in the morning. There was just so much like utter chaos was going on. It was like bizarre. Tuesday I like remember nothing of. All I remember was that Lorene and me didn't want to go clubbing, so we ended up watching Borat together. We spent ages trying to watch films online, and then we were trying to use Amazon Prime, but I didn't have an account, so I phoned up my brother to get me onto my dad's account because he wasn't picking up his phone, because I think he was like in Copenhagen or something, and where he works sometimes. And Callum, my brother, just knows all my dad's passwords. Like how, I don't know, but he'll like have this massive list of try this, try that, and we got it right. But then Amazon Prime wasn't working, so we watched Borat legally. I hope I'm allowed to say that. And that was really funny. Like I was a bit unsure, like do I show it to Lorene, do I not? But she loved it, and she has such a contagious laugh. It's brilliant. I really, really miss her. So that was fun. That was Tuesday, and literally all I remember of Tuesday. So great day. Wednesday, I'm unsure whether we went into town, Lorene, me, Holly and Sarah, or if we went the next day. But on one of the days we went into town and just kind of had a wander around, had a look at some of the shops, went into some of the Harry Potter shops and just kind of had a chill. That was nice. Also on Wednesday we had a PPE welcome lecture thing, which is I think why I didn't go drinking on the Tuesday. And it was a kind of introduction, and I'd been talking to like a number of people in my year, and there was Tash, and she'd like turned around and said, "You're Elana, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're Tash." And then she introduced me to her flatmate Luke, who also did PPE, and we kind of just clicked from that moment. It was weird. She's like, one of my best friends now, and she's my best friend at uni. I love her so much, and we just had so much fun together all year, and it was so nice to see her in that lecture, and we sat next to each other, and I remember everyone taking loads of notes, listening even though it was quite boring. And then afterwards we had to like meet our PP families, and we weren't allowed to leave, and I remember just wanting to leave, and I think I just ran off kind of in the end, and we had to take a group photo. You can't even see my face in it, but I'm not going to put it in here because I've not got permission from everyone to post it. So, and it would be asking like a lot of people, and there were like various quizzes to do. I don't actually remember at all who is in my PP family. I know who my parents are, and that's it. I don't remember the rest, to be honest with you. That's how kind of like insignificant they were. I think the PP families are a good idea, and they can be something really good. They're like a point of contact if you need help. But I met other people in the years above, especially a girl called Clemmy, who was a friend of Llewellyn's girlfriend, and so I met her and stuff. And she, side note, when I was really struggling on day 2 of the first week of lecture, she came and met me, and she was amazing, and she was like, it's going to be okay, you're going to get through this, it's going to be alright. And throughout the year she was amazing. Like, it was really nice having someone in the year above support me. Wednesday evening we went to Salvo's. Before, Lorene and me had made this really weird drink that was like deadly, and I was not in a good, I was quite drunk. Well, I say I was tipsy. And then we walked into town, and Lorene and me were singing ABBA the entire time. And yeah, that was really fun, and we went with some of the boys. And then we went to a pub. Oh my god, the wind. My windows are open, and they've just like blown even more open in my hair. It's like that. So we went into this pub, drank some more. I didn't drink, and then we went to Salvo's, which was really good. And then in the middle they did this like ABBA montage, and Lorene and me were like, yes, we've been singing ABBA this entire time. We wanted ABBA, and they sang ABBA, and she like pointed to me like, Elana, and I was like, yeah, and we danced. I mean, the rest of Salvo's was a bit naff, but that was like good, and I really do I don't really remember it very well, but like, I remember it happened, and I remember being really happy and having lots of fun, so that was good. And that was Wednesday. Thursday was another day where I like don't really remember anything. I think Lorene was having problems with her laptop, so we had to go to Llewellyn's to fix it, and then he couldn't fix it, so that was like awkward. And everyone was going clubbing, but I had a lecture the next day, so I decided to not go. I stayed back to chill by myself, which was like fine. It was really good just to have some downtime, I thought. Friday was the day I had my first ever lecture. It was really weird walking in and kind of experiencing that. So it was very strange, and it was good and bad at the same time. It was a module I didn't really like in the end, but I was like, it's my first lecture, like this is so exciting, like I'm here. I was with Tash and Luke, and that was like really cool. At that point I didn't have a note taker, so I did struggle a bit, and I did struggle for a couple of weeks until I got the note taker, so that really helped in the end. And then after that I went into town with a boy called Jim, a boy called Joe, and Lorene, and we went to a pub, and I think we went to like 2 or 3 in the end, and we drank a bit, and then we were going to head back because it was like this colour crawl, and we're going to do more. But then Llewellyn was like, I want to see you, Julian wants to see you, Lakshan wants to see you. So we decided to combine forces and go on the colour crawl together, which was like a bar crawl around campus. So we went and did that, and we came back, had some food, and there was a bit of a kind of argument in the flat because the boys were like, oh, we'll take them everywhere in the sticks, but like we feel like we're not needed, and there was a bit of like, kind of a bit of a fight, well not a proper fight, but a bit of like an argument going on. So we did the colour crawl, we went to 2 places, and then the boys went off, and then me and the girls, we went back to mine, well our flat, not mine, and slept, and then Llewellyn came back like at 5 AM. So that was kind of Friday. It was quite a good day. a lot of experiences and stuff like that, so I enjoyed it. The colour crawl was a bit naff because by this point everyone was really tired and getting quite exhausted, and there were just big queues at the bars and there wasn't much to do, and so we kind of just lost it. Then Saturday was when the university, so the Students' Union, took over freshers. So there were 2 tickets you could buy, your kind of college freshers and the Students' Union freshers. You kind of don't have to buy a ticket for college freshers, but you'd be kind of a bit stupid not to, because you cannot get into like any event, so you kind of need to buy it, to be honest with you, which kind of really sucks if I'm in my eyes. But then the Students' Union freshers ticket I didn't buy because it was going to end up being like 50 quid for everything, and I just was like, I'm not spending that money, and most people said it was a bit naff anyway. So on the Saturday I woke up feeling really ill, and I did freshers fair, so there was an accessible hour, but I was like, can I go, can I not go? Anyone can go, literally, they're not going to question you, that's for future reference. But no one else really wanted to go, so we went quite early, and we went with Rob as well, and it was absolutely mayhem. It was awful. Like, I was on such sensory overload. I just remember having to lie down afterwards for like 2 hours because I wasn't feeling well anyway, but it was just people everywhere. It was, oh my god, I just cannot explain what it was like. I was so excited for it as well, but it was just chaos. It was, oh, I can't, sorry to like ramble. So then after that I went back, we were all kind of had enough, and then Sarah, Holly and Lorraine went back out again, and I decided to stay because that evening I was doing a roast dinner for the girls, Llewellyn and my friend Mark, and I think a couple of other people did it as well, I'm not sure. And that was a nice evening, really chilled. We'd made a lot of food, and then Lorraine made this like chocolate pudding thing, because pudding meant something different to her than it did for like us, because we kind of mean pudding as a dessert, and even she admitted it was like really disgusting. And we had a kind of balcony, a mini balcony that you can kind of just stand on, and the Freshers Festival from the Students' Union were having music that night, and we could hear them playing, and that was like a nice festival feel. And Lorraine and me had met some of the performers earlier that day when we'd been wandering around and had like chatted to them and stuff, so that was cool. And that was like a really nice evening, kind of rounding off a good week, and it was like kind of the last night I could stay up, and it was just overall like a really nice kind of vibe, and I really did enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Like, I just think at the end of the day you're not going to completely know what you're going to get up to, but that's like a model week, because all I heard was, oh, you're crazy busy, but you are and you aren't in your kind of like own ways. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed and you're enjoying this week of videos, and that you're not feeling too nervous if you are starting uni, especially at York. Victoria and me, the disabled students officers, are there for you. We will talk to anybody and help anyone, especially disabled students, but you don't have to be identified as disabled to come and talk to us, and we want to make the experience as like most welcoming as possible. And as I film this on, what's the date today, the 10th of August, we are working really hard to provide a great experience for you all. So yeah, I hope you enjoy.